Hello from Bugeye Guy, and this week I want to show you a beautiful Bugeye that we have just completed a nice cosmetic and mechanical restoration on. It's an older car, well they're all old obviously, but it's an older restoration in that the paint was not very fresh, but it was really badly oxidized. And by sanding and buffing this car, we brought it up quite a few notches and made it just beautiful for the father and son who will be taking the train up tomorrow and driving this car home. Very wonderful for us because more and more we've become a bit of a national service center for these cars. And it's great when they come in from out of the area, we're able to do a long list of improvements and then send them back out into the world for another chapter. This one got new wire wheels. How beautiful. Wire wheels tend to get rusty over time and they get out of round, and so now we restart the clock with these beautiful ones back on the car. A couple other things we did that I just want to show you. We put a new fuel tank in. Now these fuel tanks, here's Sven getting ready to depart for Colorado, but if you see this drain plug, I don't know if the light is okay for you, there it is. That drain plug right there is an indication of an older or original fuel tank. The new reproductions unfortunately don't have a drain plug, but it gives us an easy way to identify the vintage of the tank. And what's happening is that ethanol additive is soaking up water. It just absorbs water more readily into the fuel. That water tends to sit at the bottom of the tanks. Of course, water being heavier will sit right on the bottom. We've had some tanks where you'll get a little bubble of water, the car sits in one place, and then that water will rust a pinhole. You'll have a new looking tank with a pinhole in it, and that's because of ethanol usually, or water that gets into the tank from condensation. But either way, the water and rust will really wreck your Bugeye. Fuel lines and carburetor float bowls will fill up with crud, and it's a way that we've seen, fuel filters clog and the cars will stop running. And so that's one reason why this car got a new fuel tank. And it gives us a chance to fix the senders as well and seal the tops of the tanks. As you've seen in our other posts, those will often leak. We put a new bullet style or original style muffler on this car as well, in addition to that tank. And then the car came to us with this nice hardtop, but no hold downs. So we put in, this is something we sell in our catalog. These are the wing nuts that are a match for the original ones, so that's kind of nice. Then there's a bolt that comes through, so we sell this little hold down kit that goes through these brackets, and these fasten on the top tubes that hold the top bow, that hold this top bow in place, is how the hardtop secures to the back deck. The other thing that we did is we changed this cowl gasket. Now this is often cracked, corroded, or worn. And what's kind of interesting here is you see that we've rolled the gasket under, which forms a much tighter seal, a better seal. It's actually sort of shock absorbing, or it fits the varying contours of the cowl better than if you unfurl it flat. A lot of these cars you'll see this gasket out just straight, but we have it rolled under, which is the way the factory did it, and it gives you a much better seal. We sell these gaskets, they have the right profile so that they're not too hard to fit into this track. But the real challenge of changing these is opening these screws. These are steel screws in an aluminum frame, so through electrolysis they tend to be welded in there over time. They're just stuck. So you can really depend on breaking these. You want to be very careful trying to open them, because you will then have to thread this frame, which that could be anything from as simple as running a tap through it to as difficult as having to weld it shut and re-drill it and tap new holes. We've done both extremes. It just depends on how bad those sort of electrolysis ruined holes are on your particular car, but they can be restored. You will need to get these off though to change this gasket. This particular gasket, we also sell this glass glazing. It's not too bad on this car. It's a little bit cracked, but of course you need to remove the glass for that. So this windshield was good enough that we could leave it all as is. Anyway, that's what's up this week. A massive transformation on this car that included all new shocks, new radius arm bushings, a lot of hydraulic parts. We have all that here in our catalog. And if you want to send us a Bugeye, we're always happy to have them here, as you might imagine. And that's what's new this week in our shop.